slips under his stick to the corner. The Villiers goes after it. He'll drop it back for Strong. Played around with Van Riemsdyk. Up for Leonard. Across for Strong. Strong cuts in. Forced wide by Matheson. Strong holds on to the puck. Trying to play to front. Broken up. Cooley to Gallagher. Over for Anderson. Anderson into the capital zone. Tries to get it to the net, and it does, and Thompson is forced to hold on. Tom Wilson with a big hit on Carrier that led to the goal that made it 2-2, and that's where we stand.
First, we won J.D. Power, ranking Ram the #1 brand in new vehicle quality.
Hey, tabarnak.
2025 modern.
Juste parce que des...
We're throwing our rating on even more with the new Ram Heavy Duty. Well, you know what they say. You win some, you win some. And every win is inspired by the ones who drive us. Ram, built to serve.
Body Armor Hydration Drink. With electrolytes, natural flavors, natural sweeteners, and no colors from artificial sources. Body Armor, the official sports hydration partner of the NHL.
When the world turns upside down, who's going to rise to the challenge? That's us. It's on all of us to lead the charge, to find the courage to drive change. We're strong, and we're proud. It's on us to have a plan to speed up our energy independence, because no one can take that away from us.
Another fantastic game so far here in Montreal. 2-2 here in the third. The game is really last year up here in the third period. A lot of work obviously we're talking about in the strike away in the series and a half. And Montreal getting right back to those 2-2. Both teams just failed to go away and win the game. They hang in there and just do what you would. Gary into the locker room tonight. He sat on the bench, took the jump. His legs right on his left. Triggers were talking to him. I don't think he's going to be able to finish it. Who can blame him? He just got rocketed by Wilson. There's David Alford on the block. You know, David Alford and his hit on Sandy. Point from Matheson. Shot far away by Sandy.
Wow, merci pour la personne qui a dit wow.
Slides it over to Cooley. Cooley, a little trouble with it there, but he's able to keep it in. Davidoff chips it off the boards. It's clear to center, and Matheson will take it and send it back for Caden Cooley. And the Canadians can reset. Suzuki, that's Caulfield on the wing. Broken up by Dowd and cleared out. Jack-Eye over to Savard. Savard went to dump it in. With the leg of the linesman, comes back to Savard. Played it over to Jack-Eye. He'll feed it into the capital zone. Slavkovsky after the puck. Chipman moves it around. Hopped over the stick to Mick Suzuki. Radish trying to play it. Suzuki nearly stole it. And that'll force Washington to flip it out as Savard has got it. Worked it up for Suzuki. Back for Savard. Over to Herbert Jack-Eye. Caulfield knocks it free. Suzuki tried to settle it down. Here's the out on it. Heads it up. Pavilion coming in. Pavilion shooting. Great stick by Savard. Pavillion's got it again. Pavilion hands it off for Strome. Over to Lloyd. Down for Chickrick. Trying to get it in front, but off the leg of Jack-Eye. Chickrick feeds it around to the far side. Strome goes after it. Caulfield is there, and it's picked up by Suzuki. Up for Slavkovsky. Canadians will clear it as it's back down into the Capitals' end. Lloyd is on net. Anderson circling around in front. That roll. Up ice from Giovanni on took it in. Gallagher goes after it. Hits it in as well. They all collide. Anderson is the one that comes up with it. Josh Anderson to center. Flips it in as Caden Gooley goes after it. Gooley taken to the boards by Alexia. Anderson knocks it free for Morak. Put it in front, and it's taken away by Leonard. Leonard stood up and center by Gallagher. Giovanni after it. Throws it back over, and Anderson tipped it away as Gooley has got it. Dvorak with it. Puts it through the legs of Giovanni. Locked it back for Gooley, and the Canadians will get a change.
Well, they'll wait for this breakout, this setup breakout that they've been running. It's been really working for them.
Here comes Demidov. Over to Jake Evans. Evans into the Washington zone. Checks up with it. Back to the point. Matheson has got it. Sends it over to Jack. On a drive that goes wide. And Matheson's got to hustle back after it in his own end. And Michael chasing him. Newhook on the puck. Up the boards. Demidov to the line. Over the stick of Sandine. Evans racing after it. Trying to bat it away off the stick of Matt Roy. Rasmus Sandine on the puck. Sandine up for Wilson. Wilson to the ground. Stopped by over Jackeye. Matheson pushing by to Hamill. Handed off for Nick Suzuki. Suzuki to Matheson. Matheson up to center. Flips it in. He's going to go after it himself. Matheson runs after Chipper. Caulfield trying to get to it on the board. So Hamill slotted it. Relish is on it. Hudson goes after him. Relish hands it off for Carlson. Left it for Down. Down throws it over to Chiprin. Chiprin to Carlson. Slow pass to the point for Relish. Back for Down. Up high to the point. Chiprin to Carlson. Throws it wide of the net. Matheson trying to hold it there. But Billy Martin. Caulfield held it up. Solkowski comes up with it. He'll send it back the other way. Caulfield goes after it. And Caulfield got it by Carlson out. Chippering with it. Playing for Mobilier. Pressured by Caulfield. Trying to lift his stick. And Chippering will dump it in. Playing Hudson is on. Hudson lays it back around for Solkowski. Solkowski works it free for Dvorak. He'll back in and out down the ice. And Riemsdyk goes back to get it. Caulfield in on the forecheck where he's been up for a minute and a half. He needs to get the change. He'll head off now as Strome's got it at center. Strome dropped it off. Giovanni and scores!
Fuck.
And Washington takes the lead with 3:37 to go.
What a shot. And Spencer Carberry talked about they needed to exit their zones cleaner. They needed to get up the ice with more speed. And this is one of those times where they actually executed really well. Came out of the red with a lot of speed. Pass up the middle to Strome. He's so good at distributing the puck, hanging on to it. He takes the hit to make a play. He knows he's going to get hit. He's going to drop this to Giovanni, who has Ovechkin to his right. So Domish knows that. He knows Ovechkin's to his right. So maybe he's kind of just cheating. And he just rips that thing home. And the Washington Capitals are 3 minutes and 37 seconds away from taking a 3-1 lead in this series. What a big play by Giovanni. Strome gets another assist. And it has silenced this building.
First of the playoffs and 7th career playoff goal for Andrew Giovanni. Jake Evans pushed the puck back into the Capitals zone. Now McMichael tips it back. Evans goes after it. Off pass ahead at center. Newhook can't get to it. Bang at the line. Jackeye runs into Wilson. Evans around for Gooley. Racing in with a puck to Remember that one? But the Canadians can tie it. Evans will dump it in. Newhook goes after it. Into the corner. Armia trying to break. Should have Evans in there as well. Evans trying to get through that. Matheson. Evans got it on him, and that's off the pad of Thompson.
Hudson with it. Hudson for Matheson. Back for Hudson. Shot. Stopped by Thompson, and he holds on. Andrew Mangiapane puts Washington in front of the late stages here in Game 4.
Okay, I think I got it. What if I crashed through the window?
That's genius. From business
Excellent.
to taking care of business. Rogers experience.
So cute.
Silverado Trail Boss. It wouldn't work.
Wide open. It's hard to look up the greatest goal scorer in NHL history, but it's the playoffs. You have a shot, you pull the trigger, and that's exactly what Mangiapane did. He was taking the Capitals to the lead.
What a snipe. I mean, what an absolute snipe. Again, I can't say enough about Dylan Strome. And he's transporting the puck up ice and really making key decisions with the puck that have created opportunity for the Capitals. And the hit of Wilson on Gary, and he seemed to change this game. Then into the extra attacker out. Net is empty. Give it off for Hudson. Hook it up. And top the basket. Sweep down. Hands up. Scores. Right in your hand. Puts it into the empty net. And the Capitals take the 4-2 lead.
What?
Well, the
Fuck,
crowd
man.
can't the draw's taking place. The goalie's out.
What?
And everything has to be
Fuck.
everything. And unfortunately, it doesn't happen for Hudson.
Ew.
Canadians. As this puck gets lifted back by Demidov, and they take the two options away. And to see that down was going to Demidov, so that play was not going to be available to Hudson. And they did the right thing. Take away the two options, and the puck gets deflected, lands on the stick.
Fuck, man.
Cover that much ice. Hudson knows it. And the Washington Capitals, 2 minutes and 39 seconds away from stealing one here in Montreal.
Goodbye.
Be separating here before the face-off.
What? Too late.
Hudson on the puck. He'll drop it down for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky starts up ice, going to relieve the net. Here comes Hudson with it. And Hudson. All time. Hands it off to Caulfield. Back for Hudson. Hudson over to Caulfield. Caulfield looking for that. No lead. Goes to Hudson with it. Hudson back to Caulfield. Caulfield with a shot. He got blocked. He'll get it back. Hudson again with it. Over to Caulfield. Roll Caulfield. Down low for Brendan Gallagher. Back to Caulfield. That one's up the boards and back to center. Hudson is on it. Played it up for Caulfield. He'll send it in off the stick of Carlson. Cooper is there. Jammed it up the boards. Carlson tries to clear it and he'll make it out. Demidov races after it. Beyond Demidov. The ball Caulfield. Back for Demidov. He'll work it into the Washington end. Demidov shooting. High riser. Fly off the Thompson. Down to their back of the net. Centered in front. Caulfield can't get to it. He'll come to center.
Slavkovsky. Played for Hudson. He'll flip it in. Glove by Thompson. Hands it off to Carlson. Check by Slavkovsky. Suzuki to Caulfield. Up to the point for Hudson, and it came out on him, and he's got a bail back into his own end with it. Now Caulfield has got it. Turns and dumps it into the Capitals' end. Suzuki goes after the puck. He's got it. Nick Suzuki and live it off of the board. Plastic. Nick Michael to Wilson with the empty net. And he puts the dagger in game number 4. And gives it to the fans.
Well, this game changed on a dime on a Wilson hit on Carrier shortly after they tied the game up. And they had taken it over here in the third period, similar to what Montreal did to them here in Game 3. And the guy who started it off with a walloping crunch ends it with an empty net goal as he frisbees this into the wide open net. And the captain loves it. And for the Montreal Canadiens, seemed like they were in such control of this game at 2-1. And it has slipped away on them. And they will have to regroup and head to Washington and try to keep this series alive.
Send it across for Van Riemsdyk. Alexia moves it up for Leonard. Leonard checked by Urbina. Kapanen trying to knock the puck and then flip the stick of Leonard. Leonard goes after Kapanen. Eller's got it. The play's blowing out on the outside.
Well, a really gutsy, patient road game for the Washington Capitals. I mean, they came out and probably in one of the games that was really back and forth, up for grabs of the 4 games in the series we've seen so far. And they had patience, they waited, and eventually they took control of this hockey game. And they're sitting in a good spot now.
Brady shot the puck. He'll send it back for Alexia. Pops it out for Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk is going to hold on to it here back in his own net. Washington Capitals will head home with a 3-1 series lead and a chance to try to close it out after a 5-2.
Yeah. Bon, too late. Too late.
Well, certainly the score is not indicative of how this game went. A couple empty net goals, and unfortunately some disappointed Montreal Canadian fans. You gotta tip your hat to the Washington Capitals.
Bon, ben, on va fermer ça un petit peu.
Fell behind 2-1. Stayed with the game plan.
Aïe.
A big hit. A big hit.
Take you over Game 4. And they get away with the 3-1 series lead. Head back home to Washington. The win snaps a 5-game roller playoff game losing streak for Washington. They had lost 7 of the last 8 back to the start of the 2021 playoffs. But they get the win here in Montreal. And that's a stranglehold on the series with a 5-2 win. We settle down from Rockland Lake. John, Gary, Sean, thank you kindly. Wednesday will be on the air at 6:30. Hockey Central show will be at 7 o'clock Eastern in this series. It's the end of the series. It changed all the momentum, and if you're a Montreal fan, you don't like it. 2-1 high, going into the third. The beginning of the third, all Montreal go through. Long and absolutely destroying Gary. Trying to get the line. Gary had to go right to the back. He's obviously hurt. He left the game, did not return, and he goes down.
Sure enough, on a track, Storks getting behind too much ice, and it's back to the net. Unfortunately, this one was just Montreal 2-1.
After the last 2 games, it has to be Anderson or Wilson making the biggest play of the series. All right, first and 1, and the Gothique each 6 seconds. They'll have almost the same reaction to the Gothique score that will break, and then it was nothing.
has more options and more savings.
C'est quoi ça? Ah non, tout le monde a refusé, Chris. C'est quoi cette histoire-là?
Will be coming up here. But first of all, Johnny Infamous, the DJ, is that scene, the mosh pit. So let's look a bit of his.
C'est quoi ça? Bon. Bon. Bon, shut up. Je m'en retourne. Ok, bon, ben, bonne nuit. Moi, je prends un petit peu mon café, je fais un petit peu mon Geno, m'en coucher, c'est l'heure des vieux, presque 63 ans, là. Bye bye, les jeunes, profitez de la vie, puis essayez d'être heureux, puis essayez de moins juger le monde, puis tomber amoureux de la bonne personne, pas du manipulateur. Celui qui apprend à écouter votre cœur, puis celui qui apprend à écouter votre tête, puis celui qui vous respecte selon la différence, pas l'indifférence. Tu sais, quand tu pleures, là, c'est pas parce que t'es triste, c'est parce que t'as de l'empathie à bonne place. Fait que souvent, trouve le gars qui comprend ton empathie. Fait que peace and love. C'est bon, ça fatigue un peu, là. Ah oui, garde. Ah, fou. OK, bye-bye. Bonne nuit tout le monde. Bon encouragement dans vos vies. D'un vieux taquin.